Hare Krishna to all dear devotees. Hare Krishna Pratyush Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All praise to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Prabhuji, whenever you're ready, you can please start, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasa Tato Jaya Mudirayat Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ushla Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistike. Hare Krishna, everyone. Today we are reading from Canto 10, chapter 23, The Brahmana's Wives Blessed, Shloka 27 to 39, translation. Text 27. It is only by contact with the self that one's vital breath, intelligence, mind, friends, body, wife, children, wealth, and so on are dear. Therefore, what object can possibly be more dear than one's own self? Text 28. You should thus return to the sacrificial arena because your husbands and learned Brahmanas are householders and need your assistance to finish their respective sacrifice. Text 29. The wives of the Brahmanas replied, O Almighty One, please do not speak such cruel words. Rather, you shall fulfill your promise that you always reciprocate with your devotee in kind. Now that we have attained your lotus feet, we simply wish to remain here in the forest so we may carry upon our heads the garland of tulsi leaves that fell from your lotus feet. We are ready to give up all material relationship. Text 30. Our husbands, father, sons, brother, other relatives and friends will no longer take us back. And how could anyone else be willing to give us shelter? Therefore, since we have thrown ourselves at your lotus feet and have no other destination, please, O chastiser of enemies, grant our desire. Text 31. Supreme Personality of Godhead replied, rest assured that your husband will not be inimical toward you, nor will your father, brother, sons, other relative, or the general populace. I will personally advise them of the situation. Indeed, even the demigods will express their approval. Text 32. For you to remain in my bodily association would certainly not please people in this world, nor would it be the best way for you to increase your love for me. Rather, you fix your mind on me, and very soon you will achieve me. Text 33. It is by hearing about me, seeing my deity form, meditating upon me, and chanting my names and glories that love for me develops, not by physical proximity. Therefore, please go back to your homes. Text 34. Srila Sukdev Goswami said, thus instructed the wives of the Brahmanas returned to the place of sacrifice. The Brahmanas did not find any fault with their wives, and together with them they finished the sacrifice. Text 35. One of the ladies had been forcibly kept back by her husband. When she heard the other describe the Supreme Lord Krishna, she embraced him within her heart and gave up her material body, the basis of bondage to material activity. Text 36. Govinda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, fed the cowherd boys with that food of four varieties. Then the all powerful Lord Himself partook of the preparation. Text 37. Thus, the Supreme Lord, appearing like a human being to perform His pastime, imitated the ways of human society. He enjoyed pleasing his cows, cowherd boy friends, and cowherd girlfriends with his beauty, words, and action. Text 38. The Brahmanas then came to their senses and began to feel great remorse. Then thought, we have sinned, for we have denied the request of the two lords of the universe, who deceptively appeared as ordinary human beings. Text 39. Taking note of their wives' pure transcendental devotion for the Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, And seeing their own lack of devotion, the Brahmanas felt most sorrowful and began to condemn themselves. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Sri Krishna Das Prabhuji, please accept our humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Prabhuji, please take over the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Radharani Mataji. Thank you, Pratish Prabhu, for reading Srimad Bhagavatam today. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Sikshashtamekam Purusha Puranam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sariradari Kripambudirtamaham Prapadye Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langete girum yatkrupatamahamvande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So in this section we are seeing how the Brahmanas' wives were very much blessed by Lord Sri Krishna. So here Sukadeva Goswami is elaborating us how the Brahmana boys, they return empty hands when they ask the Brahmanas for foodstuffs when Lord Krishna and all the boys were hungry. And when the Brahmanas even failed to reply, they were so busy and trying to fulfill their yagyas. So, and then when they came back empty hands, now Krishna actually said, did you ask the Brahmanas' wives? Now, in this section, we can see from starting from verse number 27. So, when they're actually the Brahmanas' wives, they took all kinds of different kinds of foodstuffs. So there are foodstuffs that are actually chewed. There are foodstuffs that are actually, licked, and then the foodstuffs which are sucked like juice. So all kinds of the four kinds of foodstuffs they packed, everything in large quantities, and then they all started. So here it is mentioned that how these ladies were most fortunate. They came to see Lord Krishna along with the all of the cowherd boys. So so here you can see in the previous verses, even though their brothers, their husbands, their relatives, they're all forbidding them to go. Still, they wanted to see because from right from childhood they've been hearing about Krishna. So they're so captivated about Krishna and Balram. So they wanted to catch catch hold of the sight of the Lord. They heard about how Lord was actually performing pastimes on the banks of River Yamuna along with all the cowherd boys. So just like Mother Rukmini, she was always hearing about Lord Krishna. She was contemplating, when will I marry Lord Krishna? When will I see him? So this is, even though we feel this is like affairs between men and women, but when it comes to Supreme Lord Krishna, whether you focus on his form, name, qualities, attributes, everything becomes bhakti. So that is where, so even Narada Muni, when he was explaining about bhakti to Yudhishthira Maharaj, he says, so Kamsa, he was actually in Dvesha, he was enemy of, he was considering Lord Krishna as enemy, and he was always thinking about how Krishna is going to kill him. Krishna might come him. So even in the night also he was thinking of Krishna. So even he got purified. But when you think of Krishna in favorable favorable mode, then it is completely opposite. It's completely bhakti. Anukulyena Krishna anusilanam. So then, what to speak of one who is favorable to Krishna? So even Kamsa was not favorable, who is always thinking of Krishna. He gets purified, he gets liberated. So these women, cowherd women, they were always thinking of Krishna. even though it might look like they are attracted by the beauty of Krishna, but Krishna is absolute. Krishna is a Purna Purushottam. So it doesn't matter. You focus on His holy name, His form, His qualities, His attributes, His pastimes. We completely become purified, and we also become spiritual. So that is where the Lord Sri Krishna's personal beauty is so much attractive to these cowherd girls, but it doesn't matter. Actually, it's completely bhakti, because Lord Krishna is fully absolute. So here the Brahmana ladies, they heard about Krishna, about Krishna's glories through oral reception, through the hearing Shravanam, through the oral reception. So much observed, and then now the time has come. So they wanted to see Krishna face to face. And also not only that, now Krishna is asking a favor from them. Krishna is asking a favor. Krishna is saying, hungry. The cowherd boys are hungry, and Krishna has personally sent them to get some foodstuffs. So they have an opportunity to serve the Lord personally. So they all wanted to take this opportunity, even though their husbands, their brothers, and relatives are saying, no, don't go. They wanted to take this opportunity because it has come and knocked their doors. So, now, so here they've reached Krishna. So here we can see that all the Brahmana ladies, they've come and they've reached Krishna. So now Krishna is speaking to them. So Lord Krishna Vacha. So Krishna is speaking, Bhagavan Vacha. So Krishna is speaking as if, why did you leave and come here? What can I do for you? Please come here. You've come to see me, most appropriate. You've come to give all the foodstuffs, certainly. And then Krishna is also giving some philosophy. You should actually return back to sacrificial arena, because your husbands, they need your assistance to complete the sacrifice. So like that, Krishna is kind of giving them some moral advice, and also trying to see if the Brahmana ladies are really devoted. So here, starting from verse number 27, so we can see Krishna is giving prana buddhi manasvatma. So he's saying that, so we all know that the self, the vital force, and then that is so important, and then it expands into the breath, intelligence, mind. So and then comes the wife, children, so everything starts from the self, right? So therefore he's saying, so apara priyaha, so what is more dear than your own self? So here Prabhupada explains, yat samparkat. So in this verse, so the individual self, ultimately with the Supreme Self Lord, who is the origin of the individual self. So Prabhupada says that by developing Krishna consciousness, one automatically becomes self-realized. So Srimad Bhagavatam also says, Nate vidur swadhagatim sa Vishnum. So our real self-interest is attaining Vishnu, right? So that is why, if our own vital strength, intelligence, mind, the relatives, body, family, all, become enhanced and brilliant only by the influence of Krishna consciousness. Because that will brighten us really what is self-interest. So when you come into Krishna consciousness, you really understand, okay, I forgot about my real self. Now I am focusing on my real self-interest. So everything starts from the self, and then by becoming Krishna consciousness, we become more interested in our real self-interest, which is to understand Krishna. So develop Krishna consciousness. So now, so Krishna is saying, Tadhyata deva yajanam patayo va dvijat taya. So your husbands, they are all performing these sacrifices. So they are here. It's Dvijataya. So the Brahmanas are actually mentioned as the twice borns. So they need your assistance. You should please go back. So that is what Lord Krishna is advising, and uh, so now the Brahmana Patnis are replying. So they are actually, they understood that Lord Krishna is basically just testing them and teasing them, and they were saying, no, no, Lord, do not actually force us to leave. So, and then please, you should fulfill your promise. So you are also Bhakta Vakshala, you're always reciprocate with your devotees. So we came to take your association, so you should not force us to leave. So they were basically, these words are very going into their ears, and they were feeling very much painful. And they were saying is, Maivam Vibhu Arhati Bhavam Graditum Narash Shamshum. Graditum Narash Shamshum means very harsh words. So here, they could not hear Lord saying, "Please go back." So now they were saying that we have actually attained your lotus feet, Tava Pada Moolam. So we have come to take your association, attain your lotus feet. We want to just be here, remain in the forest, so we can, um, carry our heads on the garlands of tulsi leaves that fall from your lotus feet. So here we can see that Lord Krishna is wearing tulsi leaves, and when the tulsi leaves falls from his lotus feet, they wanted to actually take that and put it on their top of their head. So, and also here it's mentioned samasta bandhum. So Keshai Nivodam Atilangya Samasta Bandhum. So they all actually considering, they are, these Brahmana Patnis are not ordinary. They are all sages. They are all exalted devotees. They understand the material attachments. They understand all the material world complexities and relationships. And now they are saying, just like an exalted devotee, Gajendra, who was ready to give up everything. Gajendra also had so many queens, so many wives, so many relatives. He completely surrendered to the Lord, and he said, Lord, actually, I have no hope of living anymore. I do not want to live. What is the use of this body of an elephant, which is so much materially addicted to all of these enjoyments. I don't like to even stay in this body. I want to completely surrender on to you, like that. So here Brahmana Patni is also saying, we do not, we are ready to give up all our material relationships. So this is a completely understanding, like a exalted sage who completely understands and renounce all the material world. This is like that. So I mean, even though they have a duty to perform, they have a relationship, they have their children, husbands, they are at a point where they understand that the Lord's service comes first. This is the point that we also have to understand. So when Lord's service is taken care, everything becomes beautiful again. So now we can see that Lord Krishna actually says, no, 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 you should actually, your husbands will not be inimical to you. Now that you have surrendered, everything will be beautiful. They will understand you. So, like that, Lord is actually sending them back. So, it means when we perform bhakti, everyone will understand us. They will be cooperative. So that is another aspect of seeing this Leela. So here the Brahmanas wives, they are like similar to gopis. The Prabhupada explaining similar to when during the beginning of Rasa dance, the Lord also tells them, you go home. And then the gopis starts, Maivam Vibho Arhati Bhavan Graditum Narasam Sam. So they also start saying similar words. So here, the Nigama, Prabhupada explained, the Nigama considers like the Vedic literature. So You say Nigama Kalpatarur Galitam Phalam Sukhamukat Amruta Drava Samyuktam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhurho Rasiga Bhuvi Bhavakaha. So the Nigama means the entire Vedic literature, which is here it states that one who surrenders to lotus feet of Lord does not return to this material world. So thus the Brahmanas' wives here also they appeal to the Lord. Since they have surrendered, they don't want to go back to their materialistic husbands again. So here another important aspect we can see here is their husbands have actually denied giving foodstuffs to Lord Krishna and the Gopas. So this is not this is very bad. This is like they now how would we can all understand that when somebody is not favorable to Krishna or inimical to Krishna, it is very difficult to actually associate with them. So here, they are considered materialistic, so much attached. So here the Brahmanas are so much focusing on the karma kanda sacrifice, they forgot to even, do some basic service to the Lord. So here Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says that Lord Krishna has pointed out to the Brahmanas' wives, you're from aristocratic Brahmana community, so how can you surrender at the feet of mere cowherd boy? So this is like a sarcasm, or Lord is sarcastically making a comment, or is indirectly asking them, these questions without even asking. So you're all like, there are Brahmana, like for example, Ramanujacharya's wife. She's from a very aristocratic family, very, very pure. They would only, take bath from the well before they cook. Like that, they have a certain process they follow very strictly. They will not feed anyone outside the community at the home. So like that, the Brahmanas are very, very strict. So the Orthodox Brahmanas. So here indirectly, Lord Krishna is saying, "You're so aristocratic. How can you surrender onto a mere cowhead boy?" So to this, the ladies were replying, saying, "We already surrendered to you a lotus feet, Lord. We want to become your servants. We don't want to identify ourselves with the aristocratic Brahmana family. We are simply your servants." So this is like the back and forth of the mood that Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is decoding for us. For this, Lord Krishna is saying, "I am just a cowherd boy. My proper cowherd servants are these cowherd boys and gopis." And then the wives are answering, "Yeah, that's true. Let them be your, dear servants. Let them shine forth. But if you're embarrassed in front of your relatives to make Brahmana ladies your maid servant, we certainly don't want to embarrass you. So we will not go to our village, but would rather remain in Vrindavan." So this is the reply by going back and forth. Normally, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur decodes all the language of the heart. So here, by spiritual insight of Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, what we understand is these Brahmanas' wives offered to just stay at a distance and simply take the tulasi leaves that fall from the lotus feet of Krishna. So that is, or it may be crushed by his girlfriends, and then they would embrace them and keep it on their lotus head. So that is their. We can see the greatness of bhakti is, even though they can stay away from the Lord, but they want to so much love and affection for the Lord. So now Sukadeva Goswami is continuing that the Brahmana Patnis are saying, our husbands and brothers and relatives, they will not take us back. How could anyone else will be giving us shelter? So now we don't have any other destination. And then they are addressing the Lord as Harim Dhama, like chastiser of enemies, and the one who grants all the desires, Videhi. So one who bestows all the desires. So they are also asking Krishna, please bestow a desire. So now Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur also saying, so these Brahmana wives, just like I was describing, from their very childhood, they heard about Krishna's beauty, qualities and sweetness. And so consequently, they developed this ecstatic love for Krishna. So we can understand the glories of Shravanam, right? So Shravanam is so powerful. When you hear about the Lord's qualities, it can actually attract us and pull us towards the Lord. That is what we can understand from these pastimes. So and then Sri Bhagavanu Vacha, the Lord is replying. So now the Lord is assuring Pitru Barthur Sutadhaya Patayo so Nabhyashe Shurayam. So they will not be inimical to you. Ashuya mean they will not be, actually they will understand you. Don't worry. I will personally advise them of situation. So indeed even the demigods will express their approval. So now Lord Krishna is saying that they are actually worshipping the devatas, they're trying to please devatas. Even devatas also will express their approval and they will not be inimical. And so the Lord is convincing them. So and then the Lord is basically appreciating so and then he is also saying that how this in the material world there is a lot of etiquettes to follow. So even the worldly people will not appreciate your association with me, and it is not best for you to nor it from your perspective also it would not increase your love for me. Rather, you should always think of me. Tan mano mai yunjanaha. So you always think of me, and very soon you will reach me. So now Lord Krishna is saying, wherever you are, whatever situation you may be, by always thinking of Krishna, by increasing your Shravanam Kirtanam, you can always fix your minds upon Krishna. That is the best way of, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. When a Brahmana wanted to travel with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also advised him, you stay in your place and you always, hear Krishna's pastimes, Shravanam, Srimad Bhagavat Smaranam, and then that way you can actually approach the Lord. So same message the Lord Krishna is also giving here. So and then he's saying, by hearing about me, seeing my deity form. So here Krishna is directly also saying, Shravanat darshanat dhyanan mayi bhavo anukirtanat na tatha sankir karshena pratyatha tato grahan. So here he's saying, please go back to your homes just by hearing about me, seeing my deity form, meditating by smaranam, meditating upon me, chanting my names, that you will always my develop my love, and not by physical proximity. So Vapu and Vani Seva. So here, we can see that the Vani is more important. So by understanding the Lord and by actually performing the service to the Lord, to the deity form, and meditating upon the Lord, we can actually develop love, not by physical proximity. So here again we can see the Lord Krishna also told Uddhava that you go and then perform certain austerities in a holy place. So for purification like that, Lord is also saying that. So you take my instructions and follow. Not by my physical proximity you can develop love. So here now Sukadeva Goswami is continuing in the last verses. So he's saying that the wives of Brahmanas returned to their sacrifice. So and then the Brahmanas also did not find any fault, and they understood. They also finished the sacrifice. So so here the one of the situation is, one of the Brahmana patnis could not actually see the Lord because she was completely forced to be at home. So now she also from other Brahmana patnis, she also heard about the whole exchange, and she was able to embrace the Lord in the core of her heart. And it was mentioned here, she gave up her material body. So basically she attained Lord Sri Krishna. So deham karma anubandhanam, so the body which is based on the bondage of material activity, she gave up. So so here Prabhupada mentioned she attained a spiritual body and left the sacrificial arena to join the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rebol. So here finally the last few verses we can see the Lord, so now all the foodstuffs, that was the 4 kinds of different foodstuffs, now the Lord is sharing with all the cowherd boys, and personally he is feeding the cowherd boys, so and then so here so now Sukadeva Goswami is concluding that how this Lord is appearing just like a human form, is performing his pastimes. Just like the human society, we all become hungry. The Lord, never becomes hungry. So, so he enjoyed this pastimes. Rame go gopa gopinam. So with the cows, with the gopas, with the gopis, he was enjoying all this wonderful pastimes. So in the last verse number 38 and 39, so now the Brahmanas are repenting. They're like, oh, what have we done? What sin have we done that we even forgot to remember the Lord when He actually came at our doorsteps to ask for some service? So, so here they were considering themselves, very sinful, and they were repenting. This is like the so anyone like straightforwardly requesting food, anyone we normally give. But here the Lord Himself, the exalted Brahmanas, they are so much repenting. And now they are appreciating how their wives are so pure, and their own lack of devotion they were seeing. And when somebody is very devoted, you can see like a mirror. In their heart we can see there is so much devotion, but in our heart there's so much kapata, envy, and then sinfulness tendencies that we can clearly see that we are lacking devotion. So this is what is happening now. The Brahmanas felt really most sorrowful, and they are started to condemn themselves. Hare Krishna. This concludes today's verse. Thank you so much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vranda ki jai. Vancha kalpatrupasya kripa sindhu vyayeva chaha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.